Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to convert decimal into an hexadecimal number. So first things first, I'm going to explain to you what this hexadecimal means. Decimal means it is a base 10 based on base 10 system, which means like this that every digit have 10 options in them, which ranges from 0 up to 9. Whereas hexadecimal means that it is, as you can see, it is composed of two words, which is hexa, six, which means 6, and decimal, which I said earlier, which means 10. And if you add them, will be equal to 16. So in short, hexadecimal is a base 16 system like this. So what we are going to try to convert is this 4568, which is a decimal, into its hexadecimal number. But before that, the most important thing you need to remember is the value or the corresponding value of the corresponding value of decimal into its hexadecimal. So let me explain to you, or let me tell you what the value of the decimal into its hexadecimal. So 0 in decimal is also 0 in hexadecimal. Also this 1 is also 1, 2 is also 2, 3 is also 3, 4 is also 4, 5 is also 5, 6 is also 6, 7, 8, and 9 is the same also. But when you reach 10, 10 will now become A in hexadecimal, and 11 becomes B, 12 becomes C, 13 becomes D, 13s become E, and of course 15 becomes F. Wait, uh, 15 becomes F. So this is an important matter that you need to remember when you want to convert a decimal into hexadecimal, because later on this will be of use when we are converting it actually. So without further ado, let's go on the converting. Let me just remove this one here. So the first step you need to do in converting decimal to hexadecimal is you divide the number that you want to convert by 16. So 4568 divided by 16 is equal to, let us use calculator for this. 4568 divided by 16 is equal to 285.5. 285.5. And what we are going to do next is we are going to identify the whole number or the integer and its remainder. So the whole number here, as you can see, is 285 or 285. And to get the remainder, we just simply multiply this zero point 0.5 to 16. So by multiplying 0.5 by 16, we'll get the remainder, which is 8. And the next thing we are going to do is we are now going to use this new whole number here and divide it by 16 just like this. So 285 divided by 16 equal to 285 divided by 16 is 17.8125. And again, we are going to identify the whole number and the remainder. We have 17 here, and the remainder will be 16 multiplied to 8, 0.8125 multiplied by 16, 13. So the remainder here is 13. Next, we are still going to continue this process until we get a whole number here of 0, because when we get the whole number 0, that means that that is the stop area, or we are going to stop there. So we still have 17 here. Let us divide it by 16, and that is equal to 17 divided by 16 is 1.0625, and the whole number of course is 1, and the remainder here is 0.0625 multiplied by 16. I got it wrong. 0.0625 multi sorry, 0.0625 multiplied, what is happening, 0.0625 multiplied by 16 is equal to 1. So the remainder here is 1. And since we still have 1 here, we are still going to continue doing this. So 1 divided by 16 is equal to 1 divided by 16 is equal to 0.0625. And since now that we have a whole number which is 0, we are not going to stop, but we are still going to need to find the remainder. So times 16 equal to 1. Now here is a simple hack in this part, where the whole number that you are using be divided by 16 is less than 16, just like this, which is 1. The remainder will automatically be equal to this number, just like this. Let's say we have 15, or let's go 10. We have let's just imagine that we have 10 here. 10 divided by 16 is equal to 0.625. And since we are going to try to find the remainder, if it is actually equal to the same extent, to this 10, so 0.625 will be multiplied to 216, and here it is also 10. So you don't actually need to calculate this when you reach this area. So now that we have reached the whole number, which is 0, let us focus on the remainders of every area, which is 1, 1, 13, and 8, and 8. So what we are going to do next is we are going to convert this number into those hexadecimal values I've shown to you earlier. Remember that table? That will be a significant factor here. So in that table, I mentioned that 1 is still equal to 1 in hexadecimal. So this just means that this is also equal to 1. But 13 there is not 13 also, but is D, because what you can remember there, um, 9 is equal to 9, but 10 becomes A, 11's become B, 11 I mean becomes B, 12 becomes C, 13 now becomes D, 14 becomes E, and 15 becomes F. While 8 here is still 8. So now that we have this value, we are going to read them by the most significant number, which is this one, to the least significant number. So just from bottom to up, if you follow this way of doing these things. So this is now the most significant number, and this is the least significant number. So to read this, we have 1, 1, D8. So now that is the value of this 4568 decimal number, 1, 1, D8. So the value of the decimal 4568 is 1, 1, D8 in hexadecimal, which is based on 16 system. And if we are going to check that, since I have a all this an online converter of decimal to hexadecimal. As you can see, we have 4568. We convert 4568 here to hexadecimal. We also get 11D8 here, or 11D8, which is the same as our answer. So that's basically how you convert decimal to hexadecimal number. So I could say that the most important thing in converting decimal number to hexadecimal is to know the value of every character of hexadecimal, especially starting from 10, which becomes A until 15. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Thank you.